You know that when I bring out the mini mic and I'm having the second coffee of the day, we mean business over here. We're gonna do something that's gonna piss a lot of you off. Coffee's just gonna sit right there. It's fine. She's fine. I promise. I really have been craving doing a sit down podcast style YouTube video. So you guys sent over some great questions. Also, if you're new here, hi, I am Gabby. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. I am a journalist. I'm a writer. I'm an on-camera host. I also host and executive produce my own interview show called Irregardless, where I sit down with the incredible talent shaping culture. We have 6 episodes out, but I'm so happy that you're here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed, but you're watching this video, consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get into the questions. Enough fucking yapping over here. Could you share how you balance prioritizing your health, training, food, etc., without triggering those past unhealthy patterns that you talked about? I'm struggling. First off, I am so sorry to hear that you are struggling. I know how difficult and pervasive those thoughts can be and can become. So thank you for writing in. I feel you. I hear you. I'm with you. And number one, I really hope that you have an incredible support system around you. And if not, I implore you to get one, whether it's therapy, whether it's, talking to a trusted friend or family member, just having an outlet to be able to safely express how you're feeling is really important. And know that you are absolutely not alone. If you've watched previous videos of mine or follow me on any of my social channels, you've heard me talk about my experience over the last 2 years of prioritizing my health in a new, different way that is really focused on feeling my best and genuinely healing my body and my hormones. Whenever I talk about healing my hormones, I said this in one of my recent vlogs, but it's such a buzzwordy type thing to say that I think a lot of people don't actually have a grip on what it actually means, because it's confusing and most of us aren't fucking doctors. If you feel like something is off, first and foremost, please go to a doctor and get your blood work done. Okay, we need to be looking at levels, we need to be looking at markers, you need to have somebody who is an expert explain those things to you. Just to give you a quick recap and catch you up, this journey started a very long time ago. I got diagnosed with PCOS when I was 16 years old. I grew up in Miami. I say that at the same time because just the beauty standards that existed within that community there, and at the time just in media and culture, and then you couple that with having a hormonal imbalance that can impact your weight and all of the sort of stuff that does to your mind, body, soul, all while you're in high school, is just a lot. I know that through my experience and the experience of a lot of my girlfriends growing up, we were not alone in the fact that all of us experienced either full-fledged eating disorders or some sort of disordered eating. And it was just there was so much noise around the way that we looked. And I know that that's not a siloed independent experience, unfortunately, for most women. I have been on a journey of losing weight over the last, I would say, year, where, over the last 3 years, I gained more weight than I was noticing. And it was, due to a lot of different things, whether it was my hormonal stuff, whether it was I was getting into a new relationship and it was happy weight and I was eating fucking donuts every day and having the best day of my fucking life, which is amazing. We love that. But I was starting to really not feel like myself, and I was physically feeling it. I mentally did not feel good. I felt very foggy and tired and whatever, that whole thing, separate conversation. But I basically decided I needed to make a change. So when I first decided okay, I want to lose weight, I want to go down this route, I was really nervous and really scared because of those previous patterns. Honestly, there's a few reasons why I've been able to not trigger those unhealthy patterns. And number one is being able to have a safe person that I talk to about all of this. And that person has really been my boyfriend and also a therapist. Having people that I could feel comfortable sharing the intrusive thoughts with, and also comfortable being hey, I'm a little bit worried that I might fall down this rabbit hole. Can you be almost accountability buddy for me, was pivotal. And also having somebody remind me you're not in that place anymore mentally, physically, you spiritually, you are just in a completely different space where you need to trust yourself that you're not going to fall down this rabbit hole. But know that you can have these support systems in place if you do feel like you're starting to spiral. Let's just always be honest with one another. That was top priority. Secondly, I will say having a very honest conversation with myself where I got very clear about what my goals were. Now that I'm saying that, I'm reminding myself of one of the biggest things was that I try not to use the verbiage of I want to get back to that version of me. I have definitely said that before, and I don't believe that there's anything wrong with that. I know I've referenced 2022 Gabby on this channel before, where I was feeling so fucking hot and it just trickled into every fucking area of my life. But so there's nothing wrong with being I want to get back to that version of me, whatever. But I think more than anything, it's about getting to this next version of me. All of the decisions that I'm making in terms of my health are coming from a space of this is about longevity, this is about sustainability, and this is about consistency, which is something that I've always been craving. So I'm not going to extremes anymore. I wasn't killing myself at the gym immediately knowing that like I was going to fall off that workout routine. I wasn't implementing some like psychotic diet that was not sustainable, physically or even budget friendly, because I knew that that was not going to be sustainable for me. And sustainability, like I said, is what I want. I want longevity. I want to feel my healthiest moving into this next chapter of my life. I'm 29, I'm going to be turning 30, and I want to set the foundation as well as I can. So keeping that in my brain constantly, and also giving myself grace to know that, look, healing is not linear. This shit's not perfect. I might have these thoughts come up every now and again, and it's okay to express them and get them out, aka like say it to somebody, write it in my journal, and get it out in a way that does not then fester in me and manifest in me actually making harmful decisions for myself. Advice on finding new friends as an adult, letting go of the ones that do not benefit us anymore. The older that we get, we need to continue to reframe what friendship looks like in our minds. And what I mean by this is that there are different categories of friends, and that is okay. No one person is going to be your absolute everything, and like it's just not realistic. In a partner, in a friend, like it's just not going to happen. And so having like categories of friends is very important. Keep in mind, making friends as an adult is so interesting because we're like these new people that we're still getting to know, and we're still changing and growing every single day. A lot of us are in new cities, away from family, away from our childhood friends, and it could feel really vulnerable and freaky. And so the things that I have done have been, number one, utilize social media. Okay. I know it sounds weird to make friends online, but like we're in 2025, people. Get with the fucking times. It is normal to connect with new people in your city over shared interests or in fucking comment sections on TikTok in like a non-creepy way. And I feel like everybody watching this has like good judgment because like we're in this community together. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you guys are cool. You guys have good judgment. Don't be fucking freaks. You trust your gut on how to make friends on social media, but utilize it. This might be the Capricorn rising in me, but I love a networking opportunity to make friends. I think finding people in your industry or finding people in like adjacent industries through either work events or through literal work is an incredible way to make friends as an adult, because I think a lot of times like it's really nice for us to have friends who are on similar trajectories in terms of like their ambitions or they're just ambitious people in general, or you guys share some sort of mutual interest. And I think a lot of times we find those people within work environments. So whether you're like getting a coffee outside of work time or you're going to networking events, which also brings me to the idea of doing things that you're interested in, aka like a pottery class or going to play pickleball or going to play tennis or frequenting a coffee shop and like talking to people in those spaces that you like to frequent. Love that. Okay, wait, fun. Somebody asked top 5 places that you want to travel to soon. Number 1, Japan. Number 2, would love to have a sort of like random little trip through the Northeast. Places in upstate New York, places in Vermont and Connecticut. I love the Northeast and I haven't done a trip like that in a really long time. And my boyfriend and I love doom and gloom. As much as I love the beach, don't worry, Caribbean is always my girl. I love a little doom and gloom in terms of like going when it's cold and like cloudy out. We love those vibes. And so I feel like going on a Northeast trip when it is a bit cooler is going to be really fun and exciting and just cozy energy. So very excited to do that. Would love to go to the Maldives. Like I just said, opposite of doom and gloom, but the bitch has range. And you know what the common denominator is? Vibes. Great fucking vibes. And so if I can chill to some capacity, either in a cozy little cabin or in the fucking woods or like in a beautiful cabana on the ocean, at the end of the day, they're both rooted in the vibe. Would love to go to a bunch of different parts of Mexico. My boyfriend is Mexican and his family's from Jalisco. And so I would love to do that trip with him and go to like that whole region. Would also love to go to Mexico City as well. This one has been really top of mind for me because one of my really good friends just did her honeymoon in the desert in Chile. Whoa, you guys. I have been to Chile before when I was like a little kid, like had to have been under the age of 7 because my parents were still married. We went skiing. Again, confusing because my family, we are restful folk when we travel. So I don't know what the fuck we were doing, but again, parents were still married, so things were off. And we went there, but my friend Ruby just went on our honeymoon to the desert over there, and it looked, I mean, remarkable. And she said it was just the best time and the nicest people and the best food and just an incredible experience. So that has definitely been put onto my bucket list. Loving the newsletter vibes lately. Thank you very much. Advice for someone just starting out on Substack. Okay, a couple of things. Number one, what is your intention? Get clear on it, because that is going to totally inform the way that you should approach Substack. Are you treating it like a diary, or are you treating it like a business? Which one is it? What's the intention? If the intention is you want to have a writing practice, you just want to write more, have like a place to mind dump your beautiful thoughts and internal musings, phenomenal. That's one avenue. If the other avenue is like, I want to make money from this, that is a very different approach. I'm not saying that you can't mend the two and find common ground, because that's like currently what I'm doing, but you just have to be clear on what the intention is and then move accordingly. If you are wanting to make money off of it, this cannot be treated like a diary. You have to be treating it like a business. And there is a whole strategy on that, which actually I do that type of client work. Regardless of the route that you're deciding, I am somebody who really believes that even if it's a creative endeavor, it needs to be organized. Okay. So stay organized, make that Excel spreadsheet where you are tracking when things are going live, what posts need to be coming up, especially if you have a paywall and you're having subscribers pay to read your content. You want to make sure that you are meeting their needs in that way and making sure that things are going up on time and that you have great ideas flowing and you can sort of keep track of that in a very organized manner, whatever way works for you. And then I would also say, ask yourself these 4 questions, because these are the questions that I repeatedly ask myself, but I also ask all of my clients that I work with for editorial direction, specifically for Substack. Number 1, what are you an expert at? Number 2, what are the things that you have endless opinions about, that you have a very strong POV on? Number 3, ask yourself, what are the things that you could talk about forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, like endlessly? And number 4, ask yourself, what are the things that people ask you the most often? Once you've thought about all of those answers and have them written out, it's going to be so much easier for you to find your content buckets, because they're basically there in front of your face. And it'll be way easier for you to find the through line of the things that you do want to talk about. Okay, wait, and one more thing. Utilize the tools that Substack has to offer. Substack is one of those platforms that actually wants to help you grow and wants to make it easy for you to grow. So utilize the tools, utilize the notes, which is like their version of Twitter, utilize the chat feature, make sure that you're recommending people Substacks and interacting with other people's Substacks in the comments, sharing your stuff across different platforms. Like, utilize the tools that are available to you and have fun. Okay. I am just so fucking happy that long form editorial is having this resurgence. As a bitch who loves magazines, and literally like that's where I started my career. That's all I wanted to do was work in a magazine. I am so happy. And if you do have a Substack, or you are wanting to start a Substack and have no idea where to begin and really want somebody to help really hold your hand through this process, but also give you strategy and help you with all those content buckets, hit my line. Okay, a couple more questions because this is getting long. What's motivating you right now? I'm in a slump. Fear. Literally fear. The fear that I am my own biggest barrier to entry. The fear that I am going to be the reason that shit does not happen. That is what is motivating me right now. There are so many external factors and variables that could contribute to me not accomplishing the shit that I want to accomplish. But the one thing that I can control is the way that I show up and the way that I move. And if I'm not doing everything I can, I need to be able to rule that out. You see what I'm saying? Is like, if shit doesn't work out, at least I can go to sleep at night being like, I did everything I can, or I did everything I could. And the other thing too is like, knowing that I am meant to do this, especially with Irregardless. I haven't put out new episodes. I've been self-funding the shit. And I'm really in a moment right now where I'm like, we're figuring out ways to bring a new batch of episodes for you guys, not for lack of fucking trying and not for lack of interest or lack of guests that we've been able to book, but lack of, I've been fucking self-funding this. So we are just finding creative ways to bring new episodes. I won't lie, it's been making me really, really sad to not be on set, to not be doing these interviews, because that is where I thrive. That's where I'm happiest. It's where I have limitless amounts of energy. And so that also is really motivating me, because I feel sad. Like, I won't lie to you. It makes me really sad that I haven't been on set interviewing since May, I think was when I recorded my last set of interviews. I just want to get back to it because I know that that is what I'm meant to be doing. I know that having conversations and moderating conversations and asking these questions and putting out this type of content, like that is what I was put here to do, is to be a conduit for conversations. And I want to do everything in my power to continue doing that and to get back into that space. I just am so happy when I'm doing it. And like I said, like I have limitless amounts of energy when I am doing it. And so I just want to find that spark again. I want to keep going. So that is truly what's motivating me. And don't forget, Motivation is always going to fucking waver, okay? So you have to fall back on your discipline when your motivation inevitably does waver. I feel like that's a good spot to end today's Q&A because we talked about a lot. You guys sent a question. Thank you so much. I hope that these answers were helpful and gave you a little bit of insight, and ultimately at the end of the day made you feel a little bit less alone, because you're not alone. And honestly, let me know what is motivating you right now, because I'm very curious to hear. I love to get that peek inside of your guys' world. Makes me feel like I'm not talking to a fucking camera. Thank you guys for being here, for watching today's video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed. All of my links are always in the description below. My Substack, my pitching course. I'm gonna go pack my suitcase to Miami and make sure that I'm not missing 100 things before my trip tomorrow. So talk to you soon. Bye guys.